Do you know what amiibo are? If you don't, amiibo are Nintendo's toy-to-life toy line to compete with Activision's Skylanders, Disney Infinity, and the LEGO Dimensions. But amiibo would be the only one of these to actually survive. Hi, I'm Mikaib. I'm back to making new videos. If you like what's going on right now, make sure to leave a like or a comment. Me and Krabby would really appreciate it. But with that, let's get back to the video. Hi, I'm Mikaib, and these are my amiibos. Now we're going to be talking on these Nintendo Toy to Life line of toys. Of course, I'm joined here by Krabby and have this different red sweater that you're used to because I forgot the other one. And I'm here to give a different side to amiibos, one that you don't really look at that often. Look at this fella, like, how could you tell that this Ryu figure, this Mario figure, this Sonic figure are all from the same line of toys? That's one of the magic that has, but it has way more. So that's what we're going to be getting into right now. So me and Krabby are heading over to Animated, Nikolai, and Krabby. There are tons of other video on amiibo. By the way, the plural of amiibo is amiibo. Like, I have one amiibo and I have two amiibo. That's the plural, right? That's what Nintendo said, and we're gonna stick by it. These other videos are mostly focused on retelling the events that went down in the great amiibo madness. And this was a period in which, during like 2014, 2015-ish, where the amiibo were coming out, firstly, they released in waves and they launched with the game Super Smash Brothers because, you know, that's the whole thing. And people would tell that there were a lot more amiibo that were becoming rare and harder to find. Like, what Nintendo thought was, oh, we're gonna make a bunch of Mario amiibos, a bunch of Pikachu amiibos, because those are gonna sell a lot. And yeah, they did. That's what the amiibo madness is. Like, what's all the stories that went from trying to hunt amiibo and trying to get them, the more rare ones. And it's really crazy. I could make like a whole separate video on that, but that's why I'm focusing on this side of amiibo, not that one, because that one's already been covered to death. And this is one of the things I feel the most strong about. So let's start at the beginning. Super Smash Bros. 64. In the intro cutscene of this game, we see the whole idea. Master Hand is the hand of a child that's using Nintendo toys to fight in a big crossover. So just his imagination. Smash Brothers Melee. Here, the infamous trophies were introduced. Little models made for the game that show you facts and the history of the fighters, and also characters that weren't fully fledged fighters. And most importantly for this video, in the intro cutscene of the game, Mario is launched into the battlefield, and he's shown to be one of these trophies that then turns into the actual character and starts fighting the other fighters. That is a more advanced version of the last game's idea. The kid is now playing with these trophies and making them fight. For the next game, things would take a whole different direction. Super Smash Bros. Brawl is considered to be the worst game in the Smash franchise. And honestly, I can see why. But it was my first Smash game, so I actually really enjoy it. And here, the idea of trophies continues, in the most epic way possible. The Subspace Emissary is the adventure/story mode of the Smash Bros. Brawl. And this is a whole ass campaign/story mode. This is the crossover of many Nintendo and non-Nintendo franchises, and it is truly a work of art in my eyes. And in this story mode, when the characters die, they return into trophies. And then, when someone touches the base of the trophy, then that turns them back. This mode fascinated me as a kid, because of the concept and the whole storytelling method of the game, although this is something I will get more at later. Wink, wink. So yeah, I really love this mode. Time later, amiibo were released by Nintendo, and they changed everything. With Smash 4, or Smash for Wii U and 3DS, they decided to release this series of toys to life, called amiibo. They were in the same model that the renders for the Smash characters, and it was exactly like that Smash Bros. Brawl mode, the Subspace Emissary, and damn, when I saw it, I went crazy for them. Now it's time for a little bit of a sad note. Ever since amiibo were released, I always saw videos on them but couldn't just go get one of these at the store because amiibo weren't really sold in Mexico. It's not that they had low sales or something, they just never hit the markets here, so we had to rely on online purchases, eBay and the sorts. And being just a kid, I couldn't just order one, but I always craved being able to do this because of the immense love I have for the Subspace Emissary. and soon I saw amiibo for the first time. As a young lad, I always dreamed of recreating the subspace emissary with amiibo, as they were the maximum of that idea that I was fascinated by. And naturally, I always talked non-stop to my parents about this. So you can bet you, when one day my dad came home with a little yellow bag and told me that I had a surprise, I opened it to see a Sonic amiibo, just waiting there to see me. I was the happiest. I was running around the house, jumping, being happy that I had a new amiibo. It was my main. My dad knew this because by that point he had beat me using Sonic while he was using Ike like a billion times. So I had my first amiibo, but for a really long while, I couldn't really get more amiibo. But something I recall is how I would watch those amiibo hunting videos and be like, oh, if I were there, which amiibo would I get?
That's so sad.
During the time of this and me turning into a teenager, Smash Ultimate was released, and so did a new waves of amiibo. And I was really wanting to go to the US, finally be able to get some in stores. But because of character development, I couldn't go. But anyway, when I turned into a teenager, I was introduced to the magic of Facebook Marketplace.
Don't judge me. I know in other places in the world, Facebook is treated as this boomer app, but here we still use it, kinda. I mean, I do.
But anyway, the first thing I looked up was amiibo, and tons of amiibo in my area. So the family grew.
So as I said, it all started with this Sonic amiibo that I got. And next came the ones that I bought through other methods, through sellers or online. First one that came after Sonic was Dr. Mario. And then came a bunch of three. We got Robin, Palutena, and Ryu. And after getting these, to this. And these all really do mean a lot to me. Like every time I get one, I feel like I'm actually unlocking something, you know? When I'm talking about and when animators are just talking about. That's why it's always been, as I said, my dream to one day have everyone necessary to recreate the Subspace Emissary. And that's why they're so special to me, because the Subspace Emissary was special to me. And hopefully one day I'll do it. If I ever do it, you can bet your bottom dollar it's going to be here.
And that pretty much puts us to where we are now. For the next couple of years, damn, it's been like 5 years since then. And what amiibo I saw on Facebook Marketplace, and every full moon, I would see one sold in person. Like a seller in a tianguis, which is a Mexican flea market, I guess you'd call it, but way cooler. Or a geek store. And naturally, I would buy them. And slowly but surely, my collection grew. Because, oh yeah, there are tons of other series in Smash, like the Super Mario line, released for Mario Party 10. There's the Splatoon line, the Fire Emblem line, the Zelda line, which also gives you easy access to all the Zelda characters, and weird one-offs like the Dark Souls, Box Boy, Chibi Robo.
This game blows!
Sorry about that. There are tons of really cool amiibo out there. Really a fascinating world can be built with these. They have some missed potential and aren't treated as well as they could, but these guys are just so special that those things are just overviews at this point. If you see amiibo in the same magical way that I do, a way to preserve your childhood, create whole worlds with these guys, and have them play stories, adventures with characters that you never thought would interact, but through being amiibo, they do. It captures just a child magic to me.
And well, that's it. These are my amiibo. That's my opinions on amiibo. I hope I was able to kind of transmit the way that I see amiibo, because it's something that I haven't seen online, as I said, and that's why I wanted to make this. You know, one thing that I didn't really talk about a lot was kind of how it would play out, how the Subspace Emissary fitted into all of this. And I think we should get straight to it on the next part. Yeah, that's right. This is going to be a two-parter episode. I know what you're all thinking, but I just couldn't cram all of this into one episode, alright? But I hope you liked part 1, and I'll see you over in part 2. So until the next time our devices connect, see you then.